3, 2, 1. Hey, everybody. It is after 6:30 on Tuesday night. We're late, and it's not their fault. We are joined tonight by Tish and Daniel from 395 Junkie, all the way from the other side of the 10 freeway in Rancho Cucamonga. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Doing very well.
Yeah.
Excited to sit here with you guys, and didn't realize it would be all four of you guys, but you know, I've got Tish on my side, so don't piss her
Sometimes.
off.
Yeah,
Sometimes.
That excitement,
unless I piss her off first.
That excitement will turn to fear, and then that fear will turn to regret right about the 30-minute mark. So don't worry. We'll ruin it for you. I promise. That's what we do. So you guys, Rancho Cucamonga, and prior to the start of the show, we found out that Tish grew up in the same hood that Casey and I grew up in. So we're gonna have some post conversation about her childhood, so we can understand if we know anybody in the same area. But how long have you guys been in Rancho Cucamonga?
Well, I grew up here.
He grew up here.
Okay. Or anywhere else. But the Rancho is very much at the base of the hill. There is surprisingly
the springboard to Vegas, springboard to the high desert, springboard to the mountains.
It's 5 minutes from Cleghorn. You've got Silver Lake. You've got Wrightwood. Everything northeast of Rancho is off-road territory. That's the as far as for being an off-roader or an outdoor enthusiast, you're right at the base of everything. The mountain, the whole deal from there. Did that play a factor in you getting into off-roading and outdoors, or was it something you always did, or was it that come later?
That's a great point. I mean, I think it contributed a lot, because when I was, 8, 9 years old, I got my first dirt bike, and me and all my buddies, we would just hop on our dirt bikes after school, or sometimes when we should have been at school, and we would just blaze the trail through all the fire roads, at the top of Sapphire. And
I miss Sapphire
before they
so
closed
much.
it off. Oh,
okay. We're gonna go down. We're gonna go down memory lane here, because
now you did it.
Yeah,
I've talked about this a couple times.
What'd you do at the top?
One of my first off-road experiences was Sapphire.
Yes,
that's probably where Cody blossomed.
The off-camber jump,
Is
where
that
you kind of lose the back end.
Well,
I was gonna say that's probably where he became a man. We're gonna hear one of those stories.
No. A lot of people went up to Sapphire to do that, which is probably why it got closed down. Because it's called Sapphire because you go up through Rancho Cucamonga. You go up Sapphire Road, and then all of a sudden there's no more houses, and then all of a sudden you're on a dirt path, and you go all the way up into Cucamonga Hills and then Cucamonga Creek and all that stuff. About, I can't remember what the mileage is, but let's say a quarter of the way up, there was this big open lot, and people would go up there and party on the weekends, and you could oversee the
inspiration point.
Yes, it was. Yeah. It was a lot of stuff. We would go up. So I got my first Jeep in 92-ish. So from 92 to say 95, 96, when I had that Jeep, we would go up there all the time. And we would even go up after work when you're not supposed to be up there. And we would go up and camp. We would take a tent, literally go to the top of Cucamonga Mountain and camp for the night. There was a full creek up there that you could swim in. The trail was picture Cleghorn, but with more forest. It was that type of trail, and we loved it. And I was so bummed when they closed it down. I've looked on the map several times because I think that there's a way to get there from the other side of the hill, and I haven't had the.
There's another gate on the other side of the hill. But if you go on the forestry's website, and I check it all the time, it still shows as a temporary closure. But they keep pushing it out every 2 years. I think it's coming due in the next 4 or 5 months. It's going to expire, but they'll extend it out even more.
Did you guys have something to do with that closure?
It's possible.
Well, I'm talking as a local.
No, because the place, even back in the day, it was kind of trash. Just from, I think people's instinct is just to be animals and trash the forest. And back then, there was a whole lot less people paying attention to all the graffiti and the trash because it wasn't as bad as it got to where when they closed it. But, you know, starting as a kid, dirt bike riding up there. And then my first vehicle was I don't even know what year it was, a 91 Nissan hardbody, put a 2-inch lift on it. I think it was all on like 30-inch tires. And it was a 2-wheel drive with no air conditioning, but we mobbed the hell out of that thing up and down to the water crossing and beyond. Take the North Fork up to where the hang gliders used to take off.
And the
man,
waterfalls,
those were some
the
good
waterfall
days.
slides where you could slide through on the water. So there was a couple large rocks that would get moss on them, and as the water came off, it created this slippery surface. So you could go up there and hike and slide down the waterfalls into the ponds. It was. And I think the other thing was it was so close to civilization that there was no barrier to entry. So anybody with the inclination to do so, two-wheel drive pickup truck, get a good portion of the way up there. It was not uncommon to find cars that got stolen and someone drove it up halfway and launched it off the side of the hill, and it was down at the bottom. So it was. The
good old days.
The good old days. You're absolutely right. It's very much that there was no nobody was policing the people up there. It was very much a free for all, and that's probably what ended up getting it closed because no one was paying attention. But what's your right now, since we can't go to Sapphire? What's your favorite place to go wheeling right now?
I mean, if we have time to go wheeling, we'll usually just hop on the 395 and just head north. I mean, Red Mountain we're no stranger to, where, you know, that's not too far up, and we camp there for a night and come back. Or if with a day trip with the girls, you know, Lateral Creek's still amazing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great areas, and it's kind of trash too, but it's fun. You know, once you get past that first initial mile of, you know, all the rocks sticking out and how miserable of a drive that is. There's some really cool yellow posts up there and fun wheeling that the girls and Tish and I will go up there, and, you know, we'll take all of our Jeeps every once in a while. So that's an easy trip for us to get on.
How many girls and how old are they?
3 girls. Our
Old.
oldest is 26, then 25, and 19.
Wow. I have a 7-year-old, and that's a lot. And I don't have to worry about
when you start early, you finish early.
I did the exact opposite. I started late, and I'll be dead before she's like soon.
Or you could start early and get close to the end, and then decide to start over.
Just hit the restart button.
Oh yeah.
I have a 16-year-old and a 1-year-old.
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of us make bad decisions. There's no way around that. So it's interesting that you say 395, because the name 395 Junkie you can find on Instagram at 395 Junkie and 395 JNKY on YouTube. Was that the start of it? Was that where the idea for this social media stuff happened, just because you were up and down the 395 and you loved it up there?
So I mean, the 395 Junkie actually was when, and this will be another conversation I'm sure we'll get into as far as the Jeep goes, but Tish originally had the Jeep for a couple years as a lease. And when the Belle, as we know her, when she didn't want it no more, she wanted a 2-door. I'm like, I'm not getting rid of this thing because it's clean, low miles. So I ended up taking it over. That's when I started building it. I'm like, I need a personalized plate. What is a good representation of what I like to do with this Jeep? And 395. Then I got 4 letters left. What can I do with those last 4 letters? And that's how I came up with Junkie. So 395 Junkie.
I was
10 4-letter words
I could
right
think
now.
of 100 4-letter words other than
That was
Junkie.
approved by the
Junkie
DMV.
would have been 101. I guarantee you that. If you said, I'm going to name your Jeep, you've got 4 letters. Junkie would never have made it.
Well, I'll tell you what,
DMV would publish.
Exactly. DMV would just keep going, nope. Keep trying, nope. Try again, nope.
No, but for as long as I can remember, we've been going up to 395. Even when the girls were
Little.
very little babies,
Yeah.
we'd
We did a lot of outdoor stuff, not just camping. So we've had a boat, we've had a trailer, we've had
the fifth wheel,
quads
the whole shooting
and
match.
the side-by-sides. So we've done it all.
And that was our go-to. We
And
loved it up there.
at some point, the girls stopped coming with us, as their lives got busier, and we decided to sell off our trailer and side by side, and we figured we could do the same thing in a Jeep and stay cleaner with air conditioning.
Yep.
And so we did it. We just did it.
What is it about up the 395 that like draws you up there, week in and week out?
Get away from the madness. A big part of my adult life, I worked in the corporate world, and it was a stressful job. It was in land development and home building, and I mean it's stressful. Every job's stressful. So I mean I'm not separate from everybody else's stress in life, but for me, that was my getaway. Get away from work. I'd been there for so long. I had a ton of vacation time. And we would just always, take the 3-day or the 4-day. And with Tish being a teacher, she had the summers and the spring breaks. And, down here, where we all live, it's so crowded. You try to go to a restaurant on a Friday or Saturday night, good luck. You're waiting for an hour and a half. And I'd much rather just load up the Jeep, throw the throttle in there, and get away from the madness till Sunday.
Yeah.
And,
it also holds a lot of memories because when the girls were younger, friends of ours took us to Mammoth. We went on like a double family vacation. And then since that time, we just kept going back. And so now it brings back a lot of memories, of family vacations and time spent up there.
Yep.
So it's like.
And it's close enough that you can actually do it on a weekend. I mean, it sucks pulling up to camp at 11, 12 o'clock. We've all done it. It's not ideal. But you can do it, as opposed to a lot of folks, you're driving 10 hours to get to a campsite, and that kind of takes the fun out of, showing up to camp at 2, 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
for those that aren't familiar with the area, so the 395 is, you've heard us talk about the high desert, which is, we'll say it's about a 4-hour drive northeast of Los Angeles. But for those of us that live in the Inland Empire, it's an hour to 2 hours, depending on how far you want to go up. Because once you get up to the 395,
the 395 and the 15 is a half hour.
Yeah,
from us.
Yeah, but like you can go up that
without traffic.
Without traffic. True, without traffic.
Yeah, right.
Which is getting worse.
Not on a Friday.
Yeah, but you can go up the 395 all the way up to Mammoth to Lone Pine.
You take it all the way.
Right.
All the way
up, and it's
Canada.
All the way.
Let's go all the way.
Canada.
My point being, it's a straight north shot, kind of in the center of Southern California through.
There's just a lot of cool places to stop on the way. It's not just you keep taking 395 forever.
Name one,
and then you get
Ransburg.
Thank you. Cal City. Cal City.
Good one.
Alabama Hills, right?
No,
you got to take 395 to get there.
Yep.
Thank
You're
you.
right. Mammoth.
And the terrain changes so often also as you're driving north.
Yeah, there's not much to look at until you get to that 395 split. Honestly, I mean, once I hit that point going north, that's when it gets really pretty. That's when my blood pressure starts dropping. In my opinion, I mean, it's if you like
desert
tumbleweeds,
maybe
you like it.
3 hours.
But as far as the Eastern Sierra goes, that's where the mountains kind of start and where all the green starts happening and the promised land.
Mm-hmm. So you guys are talking about like traveling, a few hours to camp. I'll just camp near like the closest Walmart, and if I could find a plot of dirt and then, start a campfire, I'm happy there. So Apple Valley.
That's mass requirement for camp is where's the closest Walmart
and Walmart.
Well, you can get everything at Walmart.
You can.
So when you guys go now, do you just take, when the girls aren't with you, do you take just the one Jeep or do you guys take two?
With the gas prices,
I would like to take two, but my Jeep always gets to stay behind.
We took it to Joshua Tree just a couple weeks ago, doll.
Yeah. And how about before that?
Oh, it was a while.
Preserving it. You're preserving it and keeping the miles off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The value will skyrocket.
Sense to pay double the gas, and it gets lonely in the Jeep by myself.
Yeah. I can. The gas argument I could absolutely agree with. That's especially when you've got a Jeep that's built like a brick shit house that gets 4 miles to the gallon.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, we
But
did
mine
take.
isn't.
We took hers. When did we do it for Father's Day weekend? Back in June, we took yours and the girls, and we had all the Jeeps up there, and it was fun. I mean, when we all have all of our Jeeps, and other people, or in Grant Lake too. We took your Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
We take your Jeep all the time.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you. I don't know what you're talking about. It sounds like you have a lot.
So
you guys, sounds like you've been doing off-road, outdoor camping stuff for a long time as a family, and then at some point you decided to take on the brutal punishment of creating a social media presence in YouTube and Instagram. Who hurt you? Why did you want to do that?
Well, I've had a YouTube channel since, I don't know, 2011 or something, but it wasn't very active. Like, I would post stuff, some hunts or wing shooting or blowing shit up in Idaho with some tannerite, just fun stuff. But it wasn't until we started with the Jeep and hitting these new areas that I found it really relaxing to me and gave me the ability to relive the trip all over again as I was going through all the footage and editing. And it started with one video and then another one. And before you know it, I mean, it was off to the races, and we'd go on a trip, 2-3 times a month, and I'd spend Sunday through Wednesday editing, and don't look at my first couple of videos; they're pretty awful. Actually, they're still pretty awful. So, but
this is episode 286, and we're still practicing. We don't even know if we're gonna put this out yet.
Yeah, there's a lot to learn, but it just
watch any of our videos
documenting our trips. Yeah. But it's a lot of work though.
It's a ton of work. We've made this comment 100 times. I've got 40 terabytes of video sitting on a hard drive, just waiting for somebody else to edit it. The editing piece was did you have any background in that, or was it brute force? I'm going to figure it out.
Yeah, just self-taught. It all started with iMovie, because that's the only thing I had on the Mac at the time, and it wasn't terrible, but after a while, I just kept hearing, Final Cut Pro, which is what the software that I use now, gave a little bit more, ability to do editing that you wouldn't otherwise be able to do. And it's really easy to use. I mean, I find that the learning curve was rough, but now once you know where everything's at, you can breeze through it pretty quickly. But yeah, it was a tough learning curve.
Yeah, well, in any of that photo editing, audio editing, video editing type software, it's time on tools. It's you gotta poke around and try to figure it out.
We had a guy for that, but then he flaked.
Yeah, we had a guy, he flaked, and then he recently reached out and asked for some additional opportunities. So we'll see what happens with that jerk.
Negative.
If you're listening to me, jerk, you know who I'm talking about.
He's at the gym right now.
So he's not listening?
No,
jerk.
We're talking about my son.
So
not Jose?
No.
Jose is not your son.
No, not Jose.
No. Okay. Not that we are aware of. I mean, it's possible.
Yeah.
The editing. So as you've made more and more I mean, looking at your YouTube page, if you guys go to 395JNKY, you've got 105 videos up there. As you've gone through this process of figuring out how to make videos over and over again, what's the one thing that you did at the early stages that you're like, I can't believe I did that?
Oh gosh, I don't know. I mean, as far as like past videos, like that was a big, I fucked up, I shouldn't have done that kind of deal.
Anything, yeah. What's the one thing you're like, damn it, I wish I hadn't have done that, or I should. Well, I can't believe I did it that way before.
No, I mean, there's times where I've made comments that I guess were insensitive, and so I'm very careful now with things things that I say and just
he jokes
keep it.
around
I joke that exactly. Thanks,
he jokes around.
Yeah,
and
it gets me in trouble.
Sometimes it's
Well, fortunately, nobody listens to this show, so we get to do it all the time.
Just our parents.
We don't do any of that.
Yeah,
we don't do any of that.
My
around
wife,
here. We don't joke around at all.
My wife has stopped listening to this show, so at this point, we can say just about anything. No one's
my
gonna
wife
pay attention.
and your sister have stopped listening to this show.
No, there's been a lot of things, especially when it comes to editing and how I'm going to take the footage from my camera to the SD card to my computer. I've lost a lot of material that way before. Just using YouTube, I accidentally deleted a video I had just uploaded like 3 days before, and it's just just simple stuff like that because I'm just I mean, luckily I still have the video, but now you have to re-upload it, and it's just causes all kinds of brain damage.
That was the one where you interviewed Robert Plant at the gas station that one time, and it was like, oh man, this is gonna be the greatest thing ever, and then poof,
yeah.
But I mean,
Robert Plant was the lead singer of Led Zeppelin.
Yes, I'm familiar with that.
Okay.
I did not know
no.
that.
Oh no. But
not
that's
my genre.
That's the she's from Ontario, dude. It's all Snoop Dogg. It's Snoop Dogg and Dr. Dre.
Yeah,
100%.
But in her defense, I got her all country now. You get in her Jeep right now, it's country.
Oh yeah, but in her heart, it's Snoop Dogg and Young MC and Dr. Dre and LL Cool J.
Oh, did you put some 90s on?
Oh, yes.
You put some 90s on Friday night around the campfire?
Yes.
You can't get her to be quiet.
Boyz II Men.
Boyz II Men, Color Me Bad, ABC. I found a 90s playlist on Spotify one time, and I listened to it for 4 days straight because it was like
it's probably
flashback.
her playlist.
That was probably mine.
Yeah.
The next time we seen him, he had a bandana on with a knot in the front.
Belle Biv DeVoe. Oh my goodness! It was Tony.
Yes.
Oh, the jam!
Is Crisscross in there?
Crisscross is in there for a short period of time.
Okay.
Yes, they made you jump, and then they went away.
Are you gonna bring back the jersey crop top? Like the,
yes,
the,
yeah.
That's 80s.
My crop top, my cutout crop top is coming back with the
cross colors.
I'll
tell you what. If I just try wearing a shirt from 5 years ago, it's one of those for me. Like it's automatic crop top with my belly showing.
And then I showed my daughter the other day how to fold over and roll her pants, like back skater pants.
Yeah.
Bugle Boys.
Yeah,
Bugle Boys.
100%.
Oh my god.
100%. Damn it! What were we talking about? Music. I was going to say that as far as comments and go and people taking it differently than intended, that happens. I mean, I'm sure you figured it out. Anybody that puts anything online, someone's going to have an opinion on it. You know what I mean?
From our experience, it happens from the person,
and they're not afraid to share it.
We got it from people that we never thought we'd get it from.
Yes. I will say our biggest complaints
was
came from someone that I didn't expect it to come from,
exactly.
and but we've been very fortunate to not have a lot of that, and no one like super angry. So I again, it's probably because nobody's listening, but it's one of those things where like anytime you put something out in the world, someone's going to have an opinion. And as long as we've kind of made the decision that we're going to stay true to who we are and do what we do. People make the comment all the time that if they hang out with us at the campfire, it's the same as listening to the show.
I already assume that if you're a Padre fan or a Giants fan, you don't listen to this show. If you live in Hemet or Apple Valley, you don't listen to this show.
If you drive a Tesla, you don't.
I'm trying to bring the Tesla listeners in.
We already have one.
That's enough.
We have you and one other, and that's enough.
Who's that?
No, there's two more.
Joey.
And Shy has a Tesla.
Shy has a Tesla?
Yeah.
Boom! Take that.
Shy, in the chat. Are you in the chat room right now? Do you also have a Tesla?
Hey.
Yes, he's a Tesla supporter.
Oh, my level of respect
High
and
five.
love for you, Shy, has decreased exponentially.
But he needs that so that he can sneak up on his targets.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. He was given one.
Israeli
he was
special
assigned
forces.
one.
Yes,
exactly.
as part of his hidden identity.
Exactly. Yeah.
We secretly believe that he's a secret agent and he won't tell us the truth. So we're pretty sure the government is using him for something.
Which government?
You, but
which
all
one?
of them.
All
And
of them.
I have
All
to
the
say
good
hi
ones.
to Susie. Hi, Susie.
Hi, Susie.
That's my wife.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
what is
Like we said, it's just our families that
Yeah, I
listen.
told you, 100%, 100%. The trips that you, as you plan out these trips, do you know? Is it just like every time you plan a trip, you know you're going to film, or do you pick specific trips and locations to start that process?
No, I'm usually filming on every trip. I mean, there's some trips where, the content isn't as exciting or as appealing that I don't make a video on it. But for the most of the time, we're always filming. Because she does a lot too.
He's his worst critic.
Oh,
so
for sure.
like we'll film and he'll be like, this is not good enough, and he won't post anything.
Yeah. Then I get mad and don't talk for 30 minutes. Put a man tantrum.
That's the thing about doing it live is it sucks and there's nothing we can do about it now. Like it comes out crappy and it is what it is. It's already out there. We've figured out how to move on.
But once you hit stop, you're done. You don't have to do anything else.
No, because
what's that?
Because we don't do anything on YouTube. Like this is it. But then we still edit the show after the fact and put it together for the podcast. So when I say we, I mean 100% me. I do all of it because these guys don't.
What about the editing department? Like right behind you in the closet.
Is he in the closet?
I just assumed that's
Okay.
where you have him working. Him or her, I don't think you discriminate.
But as you guys, so when you go on trips, do you plan like a shot list, or are you just gonna film organically and then pull it together afterwards?
Yeah, and that's probably my biggest downfall is I have so much footage on every trip that if I would just do exactly what you just said, plan it out, I'd have a whole lot less footage, and I'd probably get my edits done a lot quicker. But we film a lot, and she does too. If we're on the trail, she'll volunteer. Well, let me hop out and get that angle. And if I'm flying the drone, she'll drive the Jeep. So it's we're both guilty of that. If I'm cooking dinner, she'll get some B-roll with her phone. So it's just part of our trips now, and we still enjoy it. We really do. Yeah. There's times though where I'm like flying the drone. It's a really pretty area. I don't have the drone up yet, and I'll think to myself, man, I should really put the drone up. And I don't. Because I'm lazy, because I just want to enjoy it. Yeah. And then I think back like, man, that would have been some really good footage.
And then there are times where he does think about it and he puts a drone up and forgets to hit record.
Yes, that happens a lot. That happens a lot.
No. That's always the case.
So do you just put the drone up and then hit like we're like low class. We don't have a drone. So,
no, we did. What happened to it, Matt?
It ran away from
that happens too, Matt. Don't feel bad, but don't let it pick on you.
But it happened twice. It happened twice.
Not only did it happen twice, the first time it went into somebody else's yard, and they were convinced that Matt was a secret agent, and they were trying to spy on him and didn't want to give him the drone back.
They gave it back, but it was like I had to almost prove look, guys, I'm just a regular dude. I just got this. You guys want to? I can't even control this thing. And they were like, how do we know you weren't trying to take pictures of us? And if you'd have saw these people, you'd have been like, give me a fucking break.
Trust me.
Are you fucking serious? You are not the Kardashians, or you are not like whatever. And so I got whatever. They gave me the drone back, and then I got to be extremely careful with the drone. And then I've told this story 100 times. The next time I fired it up, it did a circle around my cul-de-sac, and then took off in the same direction. I just went, you know what? Fuck you, drone. You don't want to be around me? I don't want to be around you. And I'm still mad.
Last time we saw that drone.
And so we haven't gotten a drone since.
Yeah.
Are you still driving when you send the drone?
But I've had dogs like that too. Like, you know what, dog? You don't want to be around?
She'll drive. She'll drive.
Yeah.
But like on my most recent trip in Colorado, she wasn't with me, so I can fly and drive at the same time.
As long as
not
it's
fast.
a flat level.
Yeah, if you watch closely at some of the videos where it's like slow-mo and going down the trail and you see me start veering towards the end, that's because I'm not paying attention.
You're
but I don't think a lot of people catch it.
Look, Daniel, I already have my insecurities about my drone abilities, and you got to brag about
drive and drone.
All right, Mr. Rancho Cucamonga.
Yeah.
You're already above me. I accept that.
Okay. But so that's the catch-22 about filming trips is it's hard to strike that balance of being able to experience the outdoor and enjoy it, and then thinking about it hard enough to capture video and to make a good story. And I think that's one of those developed skills when we've talked to other people that do this, and you hear like the idea, the people that can go, I'm going to this area, I already know what I want to capture before I get there, and then they capture just that video and clip it together. That's a whole level. That's a level of skill sets that I can never imagine, because I can never get to that point where I'm like, this is what this video is going to look like. It's always been like, let's film a bunch of stuff and then smash it together and see what happens.
That's exactly what what it is for me. I've never had a trip like that to where I'm like, because you never know what's going to happen. Yeah. I mean, a lot of times things that we couldn't even plan are great parts of our videos. Yeah. I mean, the drone shots at the sunset at the right time because, we hit it there because we got delayed at the last camp. I mean, so there's some things where, it's a lot of footage and it's a lot of recording and it's a lot of editing, but the end story generally comes together like I planned it, and which I don't ever plan it. It's just a lot of footage. Even a broken clock is, right twice a day.
Yeah. Yeah. So, well, and if you have the diligence to take that and edit it and put it out on a regular basis, you're already ahead of most of us. Like, there's a lot of us that have footage on our cameras and our phones that just never see the light of day because we just don't have the resilience to come back to it and try to make that edit again. Because that process, there's, what have we heard? It's like, 3 hours of editing for every 3 minutes of video or whatever that comes down to. Like, that's a lot of work and dedication to watch a full day, especially for a period of time. I was just turning the GoPro on the windshield and recording all day, hoping something good happened. So
so was everyone else though.
Yeah,
that was like
that was the thing.
Dash cam.
But it was it was an 8-hour trip. Guess what? I got to watch 8 hours of video to find out if anything good was happening, right? And so, that's
a lot of storage space too.
Yes.
That you're chewing up.
Yeah, so it's definitely one of those things that takes a lot of effort and grit to continue doing, and kudos to you for doing it, for putting that.
We're horrible at that.
Yeah, shit. we are horrible at that. Again, terabytes.
I got a lot of video.
Terabytes of video that no one will ever see.
But it's something I enjoy too. When you find something that you enjoy doing, it's fun. And I thoroughly enjoy going through all the edits, all the video. I mean, it's a lot of work, but I'm enjoying every minute of it. Mm-hmm. It's time consuming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We set out sometimes like we're gonna go get a bunch of content this time. We're gonna go out. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do that.
Nah.
And then we either do it and it doesn't see the light of day, or we just don't do it.
Yeah.
We end up at the end of the trail and we go, did anybody film anything?
That was awesome. Did anybody catch that?
Having a good time.
Yeah.
You're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, 100%.
So do you ever think that the filming is taken away from the experience when you're out on some of your trips?
I've never thought that. No, because I mean the filming, it's a lot of filming, but there's a lot of hours in the day. I mean, I'm usually I'll film on a typical day. We wake up. What's the plan for the day? I'll film what we're cooking for breakfast. I'll film us leaving camp. Maybe some drone shots to the next spot, and then you got dinner and what you're doing throughout the day. And before long, I mean, you can. That's why my videos are, and in my opinion, my videos are too long. Most of my videos are right around 30 minutes. I know they should be shorter. I know I lose a lot of people's interest, but I guess that's the difference. Is as I'm glad you guys are. A lot of my subscribers enjoy it, but there's probably a lot of people that don't enjoy it because it's so long. But it goes to my point. I'm not really doing it for to gain a ton of subscribers. I mean, I'm never gonna get rich off of YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's how I like it. It's the story that I tell. And yeah, some people do enjoy the longer videos, and but it doesn't take much content, I guess my point, to easily get 30 minutes. So, I mean, you're not recording hours and hours and hours each day to get 10 minutes of video. I mean, a good cooking session is 14 minutes right there that I'm always cutting down to, after 3 or 4 minutes, people don't care what you're cooking on the scuttle.
I think 30 minutes is a good. So for me, I try to not watch like actual TV. I try to only watch YouTube. So if you think about, your typical sitcom is 30 minutes long, right? So people will sit and watch an episode of Friends all day long. That's 30 minutes. So for me, a 30-minute episode is like, it's the same as watching any other show. And for me personally, I don't think that that's too long of a video, because I look at it as like an episode.
Yeah, that was kind of my thoughts too, because we don't ever watch regular TV at all anymore either. It's always YouTube. Everything's YouTube. If you don't know how to do something, you're YouTubing it, which, I mean, is fantastic.
It's a verb.
Yeah.
Right before this, I was YouTubing how to do a podcast, and look at this is working out.
Nailed it.
Oh, that's a whole nother show. Don't even get me started. There's an actual show called Nailed It that my daughter's obsessed with, and it's about baking. They take random people and give them these giant cakes to make, and it's a catastrophe, and somehow my daughter loves it. So I've watched every episode of it.
Or Is It Cake?
Yeah, Is It? That's the other one. For some reason, Is It Cake and Nailed It has been my daughter's streaming profile recently. I'm not sure what the 7-year-old is doing, but as you've gotten more and more into the video production and videography, have you been ramping up your technology and tools and kit, or are you still like, what's your basic bag look like?
So, yeah, I mean, I've got the, my Canon DSLR, and it's the short answer is I mostly use the iPhone and the drone, to be honest with you. The only time I use anything other than that is GoPro if we're wheeling, or if I'm releasing, if I'm trout fishing, I'll bring that out with me. But for the most part, it's all shot on the iPhone. I mean, occasionally on my other camera, but that's when it's sitting on the tripod so that I can talk and work at the same time. But for the most part, it's just the iPhone, the drone. For hardware and stuff, I've got a Rode mic that I'll use on my big camera. And I just picked up these nifty bad boys yesterday. These are the DJI lavaliers, and I love it. It's really, really good. And I used it for my Tembo Tusk install. I used this brand when I did the install at Jerry's shop. One of their guys had these lavaliers, and the footage turned out really good. I don't have this big mic in our face, and if I'm working down here in the corner, you can still hear everything clear. So, but
those are
that's about it.
The sound quality on
nothing
those is
fancy.
Great. Yeah. Well, and that's cool that you say that, because I feel like there's a trend with overlanding, podcasting, video photography. It's like, I need the next kit. I need the next thing. I need my videos would be better if I had this camera. And it's not necessary. We've been using the same setup in this podcast studio for 5 years. It's, we're not as
can I complain about the cables right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Granted,
I hear in one ear, sometimes in the other. If Jose moves, like, it's just completely blown out.
We do have a piece of a kit here that needs to be replaced. I will.
It's like a box
now
with
that
a
I'm
bunch
employed.
of connections to it. I'm not a technical scientist.
Now that I have a job, I'll see if I can spend the $15 and get a new one.
Oh my God, $15! I didn't know.
No, nothing fancy on it.
Let's start a GoFundMe for that.
But it's lasted for 5 years. But I think that to your credit, like, you're still able to create engaging content that is able to be consumed on YouTube with a basic toolkit. It's not, several $1,000 pieces of equipment to produce videos for off-roading. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I wouldn't have guessed that.
Technology is great. Technology is great. My drone's the DJI Mini Pro, which I think is a $400 drone.
Mm-hmm.
My iPhone's probably the most expensive piece of equipment that I use all the time, because iPhones are just stupid expensive. But the quality you get out of it.
You could have just said stupid and stopped right there. Like iPhones are stupid. That's the part
no,
I'm
I love my iPhone.
I'm going to edit out.
I love my iPhone. I love my
395
MacBook.
Junkie says iPhones are stupid. Clip. Thank you.
We have one. We have one Android user among us, and we're sorry.
Yeah, and he's,
I know who it is.
And he subscribes
earlier. It came across as green.
Yeah.
I was like,
and his
wow.
service provider is Ting.
It's
Not
exactly.
anymore. It's T-Mobile now. I stepped up to T-Mobile.
He stepped up to T-Mobile. Think about that.
What
What he just said. I stepped up to T-Mobile.
I did.
Some people are fucking trying to get away from T-Mobile.
I am a.
What's the other one? The other one that's
Boost.
like Boost. He already
Mobile?
knew. He already knew.
Cricket.
He already knew.
Yeah.
Cricket Wireless.
Cricket.
He did.
Metro
He did
PCS.
Ting Boost to T-Mobile. You'll get there, homie.
Mm-hmm.
One of these days, you'll get to a real provider and an iPhone, and then things will be great.
I try. I'm just not.
Well, hold on. What I think is great about the iPhone is my number one piece of technology that he bought that I cannot stand is the gimbal.
Oh yeah. She
I
doesn't like the
can't
gimbal.
stand that thing. So when we got the iPhones, it has a new feature on it called cinematic. So when you're in video mode, it will eliminate.
Stabilize.
Yeah, it'll eliminate the bounciness, so it stabilizes everything. So that to me takes the place of the gimbal, and I love it.
Yeah. Yep.
Hmm.
It's a handy tool. You can do a lot with the iPhone. And for, if you don't like apples, let me tell you this iPhone, I could take, she'll take at the end of the trip. Here's a little inside baseball tip you guys don't know. At the end of every trip, she'll have 85 to 110 videos on her phone. She just lights them up on her phone, airdrops it to me in like 10 minutes. You're not doing that otherwise,
Nope.
It's
Not even 10 minutes.
yeah, not even 10 minutes. It's
Dropbox,
convenience.
Bluetooth
Oh,
share.
Dropbox again. Ting.
There's
Hey,
there's
you
a
don't-
hundred
you don't-
Google Photos.
You don't
There's
gotta sell
100
me,
ways
Matt,
to
and
do
Jose.
that.
You only gotta sell Cody.
There's a
okay,
hundred
though.
ways to do that don't. That's the thing
But
with
then
Apple.
you
But
They've
not that
convinced
fast.
you. They've convinced you that the only way to do it is
No, they
You
just
need
Cody,
another
we're not
program
the
that's going
only
to
ones
take
that realize
15
it.
times as long.
no.
It's
no.
okay.
Oh,
They
No.
just gave you that opportunity. They were like, "Hey, check it out. You can just do this. You don't have to try and find some cloud service to download all your stuff."
Yeah.
Google Photos comes with Android. You can share every single photo with Google.
Google
Photos.
who?
Yeah. They've convinced you.
You just have to find another Android user.
Yeah, that's true. Very true. No, because you can have Google Photos on your Android, on your iPhone device too.
I want to talk. So you touched on like the cooking videos and things like that. I know it's a big part of your channel, and even so one of our listeners, Shy, is on there saying the master of the scottle. So
that's Marco,
was
man.
that-
I'm just a little ham and egger. I just like eating. I make it look good because I like eating so much.
So did you? Because I think your channel is the first place that I ever saw one of those, and I was like, well, what in the hell is that? I got to have me one of those. And did you just go out and get one because you saw it just like I did, and then just started experimenting? Because I know.
Yep.
you know.
I'm no different than everybody else, man. I on a Saturday, if I'm not doing nothing, I've got my go-tos on YouTube, and I'll just watch and watch and watch, and a good number of them either use the scottle in every video or in some videos, and I just found it to be a really interesting device 4 years ago when I got mine. And when you have a Jeep, you don't have a whole lot of room, and that's what I love about the scottle is it packs up down to I know exactly where it goes in my Jeep every single time. It doesn't rattle, doesn't make a ton of noise, and for the size of the groups that we go out with, if it's just Tish and I, or on most recent Grant Lake trip, I think we fed 14 or 15 people. Did it just fine on the scottle. So it's a good device.
So is the $3.95 jerky just like some scottle experiment that went wrong and it's just overcooked and you just threw it in a bag and you're like, we can sell this? What?
No, I've always been a jerky fan, man. I've always loved it's either sunflower seeds or it's beef jerky.
Ooh, you're speaking
Every
my
single long
language,
trip.
man. Those are
That's
two
all-
of my
that's all I ever did.
favorites.
What kind of seeds are we talking? Some dill pickle spits?
No.
Or
no.
pepper.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, or pepper.
No, both
Yeah.
of you
I only
no.
mess with the
Oh,
dill
yeah.
pickle.
No, I bet you mess with the dill pickle. That's what I heard. No, man, just standard sunflower seeds, salted.
I mean, I'll get that.
David stopped innovating.
Just like using an Android. Like if I had a flip phone, you're right. Your phone's probably great, but when there's other options and better options, why would it just go for them?
Yeah, David, sunflower seeds are the Android of the sunflower seeds.
I'm a Frito-Lay. I'm the green bag Frito-Lay sunflower seed guy. To go with my green bubble.
That's good. Yeah.
Nope.
So
no, the jerky just started because I just loved jerky, and I was looking for honestly a way to share because like you said, cooking is a big part of my video, and I can't cook for everybody. And I love the jerky so much. And I was just sitting at my desk at work, wishing I was camping on the road somewhere, eating a bag of jerky. And I was like, jerky, that's kind of like junky. So I replaced the N with the R, and that's how we came up with $3.95 jerky.
I love it. Our dad, he doesn't do it anymore, but our dad used to make, I guess he did last year, would make homemade jerky every year right around Christmas time. And he would make these packages for families and stuff. And it became,
and then we would fight over it.
Yes, it becomes a full-on WWE. Like we're gonna
How come
fight.
You got more jerky than I did?
100%.
Yeah. I'm gonna find the bags and I'm gonna hide it so no one else can get it.
There may have been care packages my dad gave me for my in-laws, and they didn't get jerky with their package for some reason. I don't know what happened.
Yep. No, as a kid, my mom used to make jerky all the time, and I mean, it never turned out. It was great. That's all I knew at the time. And you know, I'd make it from time to time, but once you start selling to the masses, I can't really do like garage jerky anymore. So you know, it's got to go through a USDA plan. I got a buddy who's got a plant up in California, Northern California, and he takes everything that I want and mixes it up, and it's a product that I stand by, man. I love it. In fact, just recently, I went to Overland Expo up in Colorado, and we did Jeep Bash this past weekend. Mm-hmm. And I'm biased, of course. I love it. You know, it's really good jerky, but everybody who has it absolutely loves it. The only complaints I've ever gotten was sometimes people will have the thick and sweet, and I've had 2 complaints where they said
people complain
it's
about
spicy, and I don't.
I'm just saying,
I don't taste any of the sweetness. So. You know, some people
taste
think it's mislabeled.
That's but again, it's just like content. Someone's gonna have an opinion, right? I mean, you can't please it. When did you start producing the jerky?
2 years ago is when I started bagging it up with the jerky label on it.
Okay.
So for the last 2 years, I've only been selling it online to my subscribers, and it just continued to sell more and more and more. And I'm so grateful for all of my viewers, and I could see some here that are commenting. What's up, Mike? 661 Excursions. We'll be camping with him pretty soon. But these are the guys that were spending $25 for a 10-ounce bag, and in the craft jerky market, that's a good price. If you compare it to some of the craft jerky that they mass produce, it's more expensive than that. And just like everything in life, you know, you get what you pay for. But on top of that, so many of my subscribers were paying $10, $8 to $10 in shipping, and it starts adding up. And I was so grateful for them. And finally, enough of them said, "Get this in retail stores. Try to go to expos. Try to go to events so that they can save on the shipping." Plus, by the way, now at 395junkie.com, you can get free shipping over $50. That it took off even more so once I got it in retail stores and started doing these events. All the feedback I get is just it's humbling because it's good stuff.
And jerky is one of those things that like you can. There's so much, I will say, customization, right? But different types of flavors, different.
It's like craft beer.
There's a lot of flavor profiles.
Yeah, craft beer flavor profiles. Thank you, Jose. That is a.
I'm sure you could use different cuts of meat as well to make.
Yeah. I mean, you want to use the leanest stuff as possible, but and I've given that a lot of thought too, Cody, about expanding the flavors, but. Simple is better, man. I mean, I already feel like 5 might be too many flavors.
Oh, really?
It's none of them are going anywhere. But I mean, I could easily get that up to 10 or 15 with flavors I've tried and had and liked, and it's just I kind of get all my stuff is from traditional, like you would expect out of just beef jerky, all the way up to our top seller, which is the honey pepper, which is like meat candy. So everybody loves it, no matter what what kind of flavor you like.
That was Casey's nickname when he was younger. 100%.
Honey pepper.
He beat me to it.
No, meat candy.
Yeah,
oh,
meat
wow.
candy. Yeah, that was. He was popular when he was younger. It's all been downhill since. The only one that calls him that now is his wife.
It was for like 1 week.
That's what happened at Ontario High.
Yeah, you go to Ontario High School, you graduate.
It was a rumor that I tried to start, but it just didn't take
nobody. Who calls you that? Me. The jerky, like how much? As you started that, when you were like, I'm gonna bag this up and see if I can sell it, and then like over the course of 2 years, how has that growth changed, and was it what you expected? Like, did you think I'd sell a couple bags, or this is going to be an empire? Like, what is that? What was your thoughts going into it?
No, I mean, it was always just kind of I knew 5 years ago, after being in the corporate world for over 2 decades, that I didn't want to do it anymore. So I wanted to back then figure out, again, nothing to get rich off of, but something that could supplement a little bit of revenue and a little bit of income stream for us. So that was the intent, was to produce a great product that people like, and also be able to use that to fund some of our trips that we go on, help pay for gas, and maybe some of the food that we take on it. And where it goes from here, man, I don't know. We're having a good time, no matter if it keeps growing or not. It's a great product, and I hate to even use the word sell, because it doesn't take much. You taste it and you want to buy a bag. At all of our events, as soon as we start doing testers, people are like, "Give me! I want that! I want that! I want that!" And it's fun to watch.
Why don't we have one of those things?
We don't have one of those.
Can we sell like lollipops, or I don't know? So, what do people like?
Not us, for sure.
Meat candy.
Where's the best place?
Where's our meat candy?
I thought you were the meat candy.
I'm doing what I can.
Where's the best place to go for someone that wants to order some $3.95 jerky?
Well, you could always go on my website and get it there. And all kidding aside, anything over $50 is free shipping, so that'll take the having to be concerned about the shipping costs. But if you're local to SoCal, you can go to El Torito Meat Market and Tacos, and they're my newest SoCal retailer.
That's in Harupa.
That's in Harupa Valley off of Limonite. And don't just go there for the jerky. This place has got the most amazing meat market, and it's a full-on shop. And you can go there. They have a little. You can eat, breakfast, lunch, and dinners there. The place is amazing, and that's the closest place you can get. Or if you're going up to $3.95, I got it in Lone Pine, Big Pine, and Pearsonville at the gas. A couple gas stations along the way.
So where is this El Torito Meat Market? Because it sounds like it's.
It's literally next door to your house.
I'm looking. I know right where that's at. It is literally. Nope. That
sounds like I'm going to hit it up on the way home.
I was just.
It's like corner of Etiwanda and Limonite.
Yes, I know exactly where that's at. Etiwanda and Limonite. Interesting. Samsonite.
So,
go ahead, Case.
For reference, they're recording in Eastville right now.
Yeah, we are on the
side
on the other side of the freeway from there. We don't give out our address because we got so many stalkers and people trying to, take pictures of us.
Paparazzi. I get it.
People flying drones into the yard.
Paparazzi. I know 100%. I know where this is at. I am going to go visit there.
Yeah.
So you've got. I'm looking at the website right now. You've got the honey pepper, classic teriyaki pepper, thick and zesty. I think that's more Matt.
That's me.
That's
right
Matt.
there.
That's
thick and zesty.
Matt right there. Yeah.
Casey's thick and sweet.
I didn't know that was an option.
Hey, you still have time for thick and zesty.
Yeah, and we'll say Jose's pepper
Oh,
because
wait
he's
for it.
Mexican.
You had a fifth name you haven't heard yet. You might want to pick that one up as a nickname. What's the fifth flavor?
Classic teriyaki, thick and sweet pepper, which we just
Thick and sweet.
Thick and sweet. Yeah, Casey's thick and sweet. Matt is thick and zesty.
Thank you.
Jose's pepper because he's Mexican, and And then I guess I'm teriyaki. I'm just whatever. Like
this is how like the King of the Hammers, like Chocolate Thunder, was named.
Yes, 100%.
So you know,
yeah,
so.
100%.
Yeah.
So everybody in the chat room, you need to start referring to
Just
the three
thick and
guys as
zesty.
thick and sweet and thick and zesty.
Yeah. That's my pronoun.
So let's as I'm here looking at the craft beef jerky on the 395jnky.com website. There's this Overlanding for Warriors event coming up on Veterans Weekend 2023. Tell me about that.
So that's an event that we host, I guess you could say. We organize it. It's a not-for-profit, event for 395 Junkie or myself at all. The $32 cost that people paid is simply to pay me back for the money that I had to pay to reserve the lion's share of a campsite. And other than the $32 that people paid, I'm also asking for them to make a minimum donation of $70. I'm working in collaboration with Tunnel to Towers. That $70 goes directly to them. It doesn't touch me, doesn't go through me. I have a campaign page where people have donated, and last I checked, it was a little over $5,000, and my goal is to get up to 10. So considering all the tickets are already sold and almost everybody has already donated to it, I got a little work cut out to me to try to find some third parties and maybe some of your listeners that might have the means to donate a little bit. It doesn't need to be 70. That was just for my attendees. If you got an extra 10, 15, 20 bucks, I would highly encourage you, hit up that link, donate a little bit of cash. And it's just a way for my family and I to do whatever we can
and recognize
Yep.
all of the veterans,
Mhm,
military,
Yep.
active,
First
and
responders. It goes for everybody. We call it Overlanding for Warriors, but there's a reason we hooked up with Tunnel to Towers this year, because especially given the time of the year when I released it, they do a lot for us, and I think a lot of them go unappreciated, unnoticed, and a lot of them guys can use our help. So
Yeah,
that's kind of the genesis behind the event.
100%. And so there's two ways to get there. You can go to the 395 Junkie page, and there is a I'm looking at it on the Jerky page. I want to make sure that there's another way to get there. So you can get
events. If you go to the drop down and hit events, if you're to click on like you're going to get a ticket, in the description of the ticket, the link's there. Okay. I should probably maybe put that on the front page, make it where it says sold out. I'll probably put it there. I'll add a link there. I'll do that tonight. So by the time this is released, you guys will see it on the homepage.
Yeah. And then you can also go to dogood.t2t.org. That's the Tunnel to Towers Foundation, and I think there's a link to it there as well. So this is happening Veterans Day?
It's Friday to Sunday. What is it, 9th to 11th or 10th through the 12th, something like that.
November 10th through 12th.
So it's Friday to Sunday. Everybody will show up on Friday around noon. And the last event that we held was on the Mojave Trail. And we went from campsite to campsite, which was incredible and amazing. But it was a lot of work for everybody. Mm-hmm. I don't care about the extra work for me. But to tear everything down, a lot of folks, Tish and I, we pride ourselves on being in and out of camp in 5 minutes if we needed to at any time, no matter what time of night it is. A lot of folks though, and we were there before, where, we just want to camp somewhere the whole entire weekend, which is what this year's event is. You show up there Friday, and if enough folks want to go on trail rides, we'll coordinate some trail rides. We might do some bocce ball or cornhole tournaments.
What's bocce
for the
ball?
Veterans out there?
I saw that on the event thing. What's bocce ball?
It's an Italian game where
ball
game where
it's a Rancho Cucamonga thing. Don't even worry about it.
It sounds super fancy and rich. I don't know. Do I have to wear a collar and ride on a horse? Like what is?
But you don't use a club. You just throw it. Yeah, YouTube it.
I thought pickleball was all the rage. I thought the new thing was pickleball.
It is. Yeah.
But maybe they have a court there. I don't know.
No, I don't think they have a court there. But and then for all the veterans that are in attendance, and I haven't even announced this yet, so you guys will hear it first. All the veterans, I've a local fly fishing guide in the Eastern Sierra has decided to donate 2 hours of his time. All the veterans that don't know how to fly fish or just are interested in learning a little bit more, he's going to donate 2 hours for the veterans and give an intro to fly fishing lesson for just the veterans. So I think there's a lot of guys out there that want to fly fish that may not know how to, and it might be a stress reliever for a lot of these guys that need something to do.
I've done some fly casting. It is not a stress reliever.
I can see you totally tangled up in that shit. Just a disaster. Just angry. I've watched
you gotta get past the fly cast.
I've watched you golf, dude. I could see you throwing that pole in the water within 5 minutes.
So is this year's location? Is this a secret?
That's when the stress relief happens. As soon as you throw it out and you're like, I'm done with it, you go.
Yeah, there's your stress relief.
This year's location? Is it secret, or it's not Mojave Trail?
We're just keeping it close to our vest, only because if I was this close to getting an approval from Inyo National Forest to do it on some public lands. I mean, I was minutes away from them inking up and signing off on the deal, and then that went sideways at the last minute because they were concerned with the amount of people. We're gonna have like 200 or 300 people. It's 65 rigs. So it's going to be quite a few people, and I want to do whatever I can to try not to blow the place up. Not that I think this is going to go viral, but even if it's an extra 50 people that find out where it's at, and I don't want to risk not being able to do the site again next year or the year after, because this site might be perfect for this type of event.
I'm just trying to for myself, so I can sneak in. but it's near water. But it's near water.
It's near fishing. You're not going to be doing any fishing.
No, I
there's dirt to get there, Matt.
Yeah,
you gonna take the Tesla?
Yeah, you've got to.
That's true. If there's dirt to get there, I can't make.
And there's no Walmart. There is no Walmart nearby.
You just
really
lost Matt
fast.
100%.
You guys didn't want me to go, I guess. Matt's not going. Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished. So the goal for the you've got 5,500 of the 10,000 goal. Is the goal to get up to that 10,000 by Veterans Day, by November?
Yeah, before the event, my goal is. I mean, it's a very aggressive goal, but every goal I've ever set for myself is, sky high. And if I miss it by a little bit, it's still a lot of money that they wouldn't have otherwise had.
Yeah, so. You're already at a point where you're giving to veterans in a way that is going to be extremely helpful, and I'm sure that they're going to appreciate that. Yeah. So for now, if you go to the 395 Craft Beef Jerky page, you can get the information down there in the store. And then you said you'll add a link to the donation.
Yeah,
page.
On the homepage. We're right on the homepage where it says sold out.
Yeah.
I'll probably just add a button there with a link that goes directly to the fundraising site.
Perfect. That give people an easy way to donate to the cause. I mean, it is very interesting how much of a crossover there is with the veterans of our country and the off-road overlanding space. I don't claim to know what the correlation is, but it seems like there is a lot of veterans that participate in overlanding and or have some kind of adjacent relationship with overlanding.
Well, a lot of the combat jobs in the military, they roll around in 4-wheel drive vehicles.
My buddy was at Barstow.
They're overlanding.
And they're camping out in the middle of nowhere.
But when we overland, like in Ontario, we're driving around, there's shots fired, you got to dodge. When we're overlanding, though, we don't have that. So I think that's the difference is these guys are able to overland while dodging death on a regular basis. And I do think that there's a very much a crossover there. And I find that there's a lot of people in our community that either are veterans or support veterans in a way, and it's really inspiring that you're able to put the effort into something like this to provide for veterans. So if you are interested in donating to the cause, you can go to 395jnky.com and there'll be a button on the front page that says donate so that you can participate, and let's try to get that done before November 10th so it's ready for the it's there for the event.
Do you have a waiting list? So like you guys obviously sold out. Is there a waiting list right now?
Yeah, there is. I would encourage anybody who's interested, send me an email and I'll add you to the list. So I wish I could have more spots. I really do. I try to get more spots. Right. I try to get the whole campground, and that's the lady's like, don't push it, dude. So I'm limited on the spots I was able to get, but I would love nothing more for, next year and, or the year after. Anybody with private, I even tried private property up in that area, finding private landowners, and I didn't have any takers. But I think as the event grows and I have more and more people that want to go, and I guess some more videos on the event and news on it, hopefully I'll be able to open more options. Because you see these events all the time. We're at Jeep Bash this past weekend, and that's got to be some sort of organized event that they talk to somebody. Not that I want to have it at the beach, but I'm sure there's opportunities out there that I just, I'm
thought of yet.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to open it up to a whole lot more people. And I think there'd be a lot of interest to get, anybody who wants to go on some of the next events.
Case, how many vehicles can fit at Holcomb Valley Ranch?
Oh my gosh. You said you had 60, roughly 65, 62, you said something like that? 65?
Yeah, and
you can fit at least
65
that at Holcomb Valley Ranch.
Yeah.
At least that.
Yeah. Holcomb Valley Ranch seems to be a big enough space to be able to fit a lot of people.
Yeah. How do we know it's not Holcomb Valley Ranch?
We don't know.
Okay.
I'm just
I was going to say, is it Puddingstone?
No,
Is it Puddingstone?
This year, I wanted it to be off of the 395 for obvious reasons. And next year, the last event was off Mojave Trail, so it doesn't have to be off the 395. I just thought it'd be kind of cool to find a spot. But yeah, I'm open to any places. I'd even talk to the fairgrounds at Bishop, but my problem is I'm just a ham and egger, right? So I don't want to charge a ton of money for this event because that's just taken away from what people are going to be willing to donate to Tunnel to Towers.
Yeah.
So I think a spot like Holcomb Valley Ranch is going to be probably more than I can afford. So I need to find a private landowner who is willing to, donate. We don't need it for free, but a reasonable price will allow more money to allow it to go to the actual fundraising portion.
You probably
of it.
get a deal at the Burning Man location right now.
I'm pretty sure that area is not being used.
Are you familiar with Holcomb Valley Ranch?
Yes. Yeah, we've driven by a couple times. We've never stayed there. I've known of events that we had wanted to go to, but I think it had sold out. I forget which one it was a couple years back, but I hear a lot of great things about it, and that'd be a perfect location because a lot of our subscribers are down here in SoCal, and a lot of them. I got one guy who lives in Washington that's making the drive down for this event that got a ticket, so that was pretty cool.
Wow, that's awesome. That is very cool.
Is it Prado?
Yeah, he's not gonna stop.
It's Benelli Park, dude. It's 100%.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
try again.
It's Benelli. They got
that's Puddingstone.
Benelli. They got the
so to make it sound better,
Raging
it's
Waters.
Frankie Bonelli.
Yeah, it's Raging Waters. They're doing it at Raging Waters. There's the only place that makes sense.
Come on, guys.
Water loops.
But we're getting a lot of. I don't want to leave out. So far, I've got Tembo Tusk that's willing to donate. KC Highlights is going to be donating some stuff for the raffle. A lot of my attendees are one couple. The wife works for a auto repair store, and they're donating $500 gift cards.
Wow!
So it's going to be a lot of cool raffle prizes, and I'm in current talks with a lot of other big name folks that I think I'm going to get some stuff from as well. So it's everybody just kind of giving a little bit to make the events something to remember. So,
but again, going back to
the hold the raffle.
What was that?
Sorry,
that's okay.
We usually hold the raffle the last day, so right before we pack up and leave.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But going back to the community,
one of the listeners wants to know if you're going to be making tortilla soup.
Yeah, Chris, Nomad Overland out in Arizona. Are you making tortilla soup, dear?
I don't know, maybe. Maybe I'll have one bowl for you, Chris.
going back to the community, we reach out to our community to donate for causes like this. It doesn't surprise me that people, both vendors and manufacturers and individuals jump in to participate, because that's that's what this community is about. What's next, guys? I mean, you're doing charity events, you're building YouTube pages, you're doing social media. What have you not gotten to that you're like, oh, that's, on the horizon, this is what I want to do?
That's a tough one, because I got a lot of irons in the fire right now. It's enough that I can handle them all. Something would have to give for me to bring on anything else. And be honest with you, I'm quite happy and content with what we got going on right now. It taking on any more is just going to take away from our camping experience, which I'm already seeing that's happening. Like October, fall colors, that's our month. We love fall. We love fall in the Eastern Sierra. And almost every weekend in October, I've got an event between country western music festivals that I'm going to be a vendor at. There's an event in Lone Pine that I'll be selling jerky at. So it's going to be a balancing act over the next 12 months or so to kind of get a decent handle on how much I want to put towards the jerky, how much I want to put towards it. Well, YouTube will always be there because that's my passion, right? I'll never give up my passion and what we enjoy, not just Tish and I, but with the girls. They love camping as much as we do. We're fortunate enough that she's got summers off and all the other luxuries that, one of the luxuries, and maybe only a luxury teachers have, is the time off that they get. They do a lot of other hard work that nobody wants to do.
We kind of decided that you get to make other people's kids cry, and to me, that should be in the job description. That's personally.
You get a lot more applicants for teachers.
Yeah, you would.
If it was like understood, like, dude,
it's
you can
totally.
I can do that
to make other kids cry.
Like, oh man, I'd sign up.
No. I'd say right now my primary focus is just growing the jerky company, finding new retailers so that we can, kind of spread the wealth around. And, we haven't even really touched on my t-shirt apparel line. I do custom tees for pretty much anybody. I do custom tees, but I also do like stuff for churches and schools. I'm doing 160 shirts for a school right now. But my primary passion why I started the apparel line is I take people's most favorite picture, their favorite dog, their favorite child, whatever it is, and I'll craft it in a way that they can wear it on their back.
Oh, that's cool.
I think my most favorite shirts I did were some folks that I met at Jeep. Or I finally met at Jeep Bash this past weekend. They got two little boys, and they sent me two pictures. One is there are two little boys fishing the Owens River, and the other one was them running in the fort in Inyo National Forest. And I think one of the pictures is used as an example on my site where I took their most favorite memory and I was able to print it on a 100% cotton tee made in the U.S. And it's not that real plasticky feel like you feel on a lot of t-shirts. It's really, really good quality of the design of the print. And that's also kind of taken a lot of my time. I spent 6 hours in the garage today printing t-shirts. So there's a lot of irons in the fire, but that's something else that I really enjoy doing for folks that, may not eat beef jerky, but they want to have some sort of $3.95 junkie swag.
That's very cool. Yeah. Creating custom shirts.
And if they want a shirt, where should they go to
same website?
That?
Yeah, there's just another drop
right
down for the apparel.
So let's just say somebody wanted a one-off T-shirt with Steve Garvey on the back, like with like his baseball
Not
card.
a problem.
Steve Garvey giving somebody a hug as if they knew each other from a long
Yeah, I'd just be
time
happy
ago.
with the baseball card with he's got a bat in his hand.
Yes, we need a shirt of Steve Garvey hugging Matt.
No, it's got to be Steve Garvey standing behind Matt, showing him how to hold the bat, like a t-ball coach, like a t-ball coach.
Yes.
100%.
Yes, and we could definitely do that.
It's
Not a problem.
Matt would sleep in that shirt. That would be his most prized possession.
I would need 7
He
so
would
I
do
could sleep in
unspeakable things
every
in that
night.
shirt.
7 or 1, and that's the kind of the draw to getting one T-shirt, because every time I wanted T-shirts printed for $3.95 junkie or anytime, people have like a minimum. Like you need to order a minimum of 20. I'm like, dude, are you kidding? That's like, you do the math and it's a ton of money. Well, when was the last time you saw a guy that would only do one shirt or two shirts and customize it to your liking? So I think there might be a little bit of a business there that I can kind of grow as well, if I so desire. Like I said, there's a lot of irons in the fire, and with Tish, you know, she comes home from work and she's on her laptop till 8 or 9 doing teacher stuff, and I'm doing the same thing. So at some point, we're going to hit burnout. So I'm trying to be smart and efficient about it.
Yeah.
So what I heard right there is, sounds like there's a lot of calling for Steve Garvey shirts.
Yeah,
like,
Steve Garvey.
He was like, look, guys, let's just cool it down.
100% Steve Garvey line, the Garvster.
Like, we got to get some of these, whatever the irons, wherever you get the irons, we got to start putting them in the fire.
We didn't start
as
the
a
fire.
Dude,
That's bad.
a lot
That's
of
bad.
have you seen the?
Can you edit that?
Have you
Go
heard
back
the
and
latest
edit
version
that.
of "We Didn't Start the Fire" by Fall Out Boy?
I don't listen to that.
It's really good.
No.
It's really good.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thanks,
we were
Tish.
bonding on music earlier.
Tish supported me. Right now. No.
Her disapproval is slightly less than your
Nope.
disapproval at any given moment. Well, look, you guys, I'm super impressed by what you guys are doing. Not that you need to be doing more, but I feel like you're a very genuine, easy to talk to couple that are like genuinely living this outdoor life and doing it because you love it and enjoy it, and it's you have passion about it, and I think that comes through in the conversation and in the videos and the Instagram posts, and I hope people are able to see that and it resonates with them, and they continue to consume your content and see what else you do, consume your content and your jerky. And see what else you do. See what else you do going forward. And again, for those of you that have the means and interest to donate, go to 395jnky.com and look for the donate button to help with the Overlanding for Warriors event coming up Veterans Day weekend in 2023. That's November 10th, and kick in a little bit to help out as much as possible. Well, guys, is there anything else? Is there anything that all of the 100 things that you're doing, is there anything else we didn't touch on?
Are there any irons that we missed?
Yes. Did we miss an iron?
No,
if we're missing an
I-
iron, it's because Casey threw it in the lake on the golf course.
Yeah, exactly. No, I've got with all those irons in the fire, I do need to get to a ton of content that I got from my Colorado trip. We spent 4 days, Jerry and I and Fabian Off-Road Husky. We did the Alpine Loop, and we camped all the way up to Overland Expo. And I've got probably 3 or 4 videos worth of content that I need to find time. And so tomorrow's the day. I'm going to be working on a lot of editing tomorrow, and hopefully get the next video out in the next week or so.
Okay. Well, everybody keep an eye on that. You can find it at 395 Junkie on YouTube and on Instagram. I'm sure that you'll post that up when it's ready, and I'm looking forward to it. You guys, thank you so much for taking the time to hang out with us, and I'm sure since you're 15 minutes up the road, we'll cross paths at some point, and
that would be great.
But I appreciate it. Casey, thank you for setting up the interview. He's the one that reached out to you guys to get this set up. So
thanks, Casey.
I appreciate
Absolutely.
that.
It's a
And-
pleasure
Thanks, all
having
you
you guys
guys.
on.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the pleasure's all ours.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you guys so much. You have a great night.
All right, you too.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.
All right. Thank you guys.
You didn't hang up.
Didn't hang up.
You didn't hang up.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
It's,
we were given specific instructions.
but it's always
We
a
apologize.
50-50.
Listen,
There's a shot. There's a shot every time.
We
Yeah.
give everybody those instructions.
Same
They don't
instructions
always-
every week. It's a shot every time. Seriously, thank you guys so much for coming on. So we're still live. We're still streaming live, but this part's going to be cut out for the podcast. Thank you guys for joining. Great conversation. Really excited about the stuff you're working on. Hopefully, this will, when the show drops on Thursday, it'll drive some more traffic to your veterans event.
Hopefully, you don't regret coming on our show.
You can, if you
No.
decide you don't want to put this out tomorrow.
No,
let
it
me
was
know.
it was a very easy conversation with you guys, and we look forward to doing it again. And
Yeah.
maybe next time, you guys ever do this on the trail? Is it
Yes,
possible?
we do, yeah.
Let's say a guy had a Starlink.
Well, anytime we've done it on the trail, we have.
we just use it for music.
Yeah, We have a portable.
We did have
Oh God! I don't want to hear this story again.
And then we pissed off the
I
camp
don't
next
want to
to
hear
us.
this story again.
But yeah, we're
if we do it on a trail, we'll usually just record it on our portable recorder, and we have multiple microphones, and then we'll just release it the next week as the episode. But we can't.
We recorded at the Hammers.
Yeah, we recorded at the Hammers. We've recorded out on the trail, Mojave Trail. We've done a bunch of that stuff. We can live stream. We can live stream from anywhere. As long as there's an internet connection, we can live stream from anywhere. But as far as recording an episode, it's super easy to do with our portable recorder.
Fantastic.
So,
Ectopack.
The Ectopack, correct.
I feel like an Ocotillo trip is in the near future.
Yes, we're still streaming, but that was the first place I thought of when they were talking about how many people can you fit in one spot. Like, there's no end to the amount of people you can fit out there. So, but that'd be hard to police because it's like all wide open. How do you sanction that off?
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, the logistics. I will edit this tomorrow after work. I will get it uploaded to the media host. I saw the email you sent with some of that logo stuff. Thank you. That makes it very much more easier for me. I'll get that loaded and I'll send you an email when it's ready to go. It should be ready for download Thursday morning on all major platforms. And then somewhere around Friday or Saturday, we'll start the promotion depending on my work schedule and when I remember.
What is this comment? On Trails turns into a UFO podcast? What?
Has he listened before?
Yes, Chris has listened before. We've met up with him. But yes, he knows.
Yeah.
But we'll send this to you. So that the comment there is
we don't know anybody with UFOs.
When we get out in the
unfortunately
in the desert, there's adult beverages consumed by 3/4 of the show, and it becomes a shit fest.
It's called a shit show, Cody.
Yes.
It makes for a great podcast.
Hey, but when we were on
it's
the
probably
Mojave,
best that's not live streamed then.
Yes,
100%.
Exactly.
Yes. Although you
can edit
it isn't.
No,
Casey finds a bar of signal. He's like, I want to go live stream right now.
we did it at Hammers a couple years ago where they forced me to have some drinks, and I don't know that it went well.
It did. It went fantastic.
He stayed up another 15 minutes and then went to bed.
Yeah, I'm usually asleep at 8:15. Like that's my time. But I'll send you guys an email with all that stuff, and we'll start the social media promotions, and I'll send you guys some images to use for your own social, and we'll go from there. We'll promote it as much as we can and try to drive traffic your way, and
appreciate it,
and try to help.
Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. Thanks so much. It was a real pleasure coming on here, and I'm glad that we have Mama Goose here because, again, she drives the traffic to my site. So,
So I don't know if you want to divulge the information, but I graduated from Ontario in 1992. So Casey was 8 years younger than me.
I graduated in 99.
Yeah, so we've got...
you graduated with my brother. So I graduated in 1995.
So Matt's wife might...
So you said I graduated with your brother or Cody did?
You did, Casey.
Well, not the same school, just the same year.
Same year.
Oh, same year. Okay.
So any of the horrible things I did at Chino High School were already gone by the time you got there.
No, it was just the horrible things that I did at Chino High School. but only the first year, actually. No, because she was gone like right when I was getting there. So
we used to punk Claremont High. That was our thing. We go up into the high ground
because you guys were jealous. They had money.
No, exactly. We go up to like keg parties, steal their kegs, and go party on a lot above Montclair Plaza. That's what we did.
Oh my god,
the most ghetto thing.
Montclair Plaza.
That's right.
Oh my god.
I still call it Montclair Plaza.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
is it not that anymore?
What is it called?
No, I forget what it's called.
Yeah, I don't even
Montclair
know.
Place.
I haven't been through that. I haven't been there in a decade or two.
There's no reason to go.
We need to go to Montclair Plaza, and we need to go to Montclair Plaza and do an episode.
From where
just walking around the plaza.
The majority of my school clothes for all of my life at the J.C. Penney at the Montclair Plaza.
When I was in junior high, I went to
Miller's Outpost outside.
Miller's Outpost across the way.
Miller's Outpost.
And California Fit, the Miller's Outpost outlet.
When I was a kid, I went to Serrano Junior High. So when we had early days, we just walked to the mall. It was like a half a block away. That was our stomp. Yeah, it's all messed up now.
All right, I'll order a new one.
Like I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Yeah. Okay, there you go. Jose has the magic.
Yeah,
He knows how the magic tug.
We've got a.
Are you guys all at the same location?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're all in my spare bedroom.
Well, except for Casey.
Casey's in.
Not
Big
me.
Bear.
I'm streaming from Big Bear.
Yeah,
No, you're streaming from like Dune, planet
Atlantis,
planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm on
venue that is.
Asgard right now on business.
That's that's right. Business trip to Asgard. That was the best. Nice.
All right, guys. Well, we'll be in touch. If anything comes up that we can help you guys with in the future, if you need some more promotions or something, just hit us up and we'll be glad to help.
Plug you right into our parents.
Appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Good night, guys.
See you
Thanks
guys.
for coming on.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Good night.
Okay. Do we
Pee break.
Oh, you gotta do pee break.
Great.
Well, do we have any do we have anything else we need to business to conduct?
Nothing we can talk about today. Right? Next week we'll have content? The week after?
Well, I canceled the show for next week because we will not be around.
Correct.
Let me make sure I can. I'm pretty sure I blocked out that date, so it couldn't get. So next week is the yes. So we don't have a show next week. Although we could try to do some field recording on Monday night and release it on Tuesday. I mean, release it on Thursday. So we'll see. Will you grab your P4?
Yeah.
Please.
You're going to remind me on Sunday and then Monday.
And then again later on Monday.
And again later on Monday.
I'm going to go to the calendar, and on Saturday, grab P4 recorder.
Case, if I showed up Monday afternoon to install the tires, would you be available?
Yes, Monday afternoon. What time?
What time do you guys head out of the office?
We close at 5. We could do it after 5.
Okay. No, I mean, I was thinking about getting there like 2 or 3.
Oh, you can get there that early?
Yeah. What time were you thinking of heading up?
So I am thinking. I think I'm going to get everything ready on, as close as I can on Sunday. Go in early on Monday. Leave 2:30. Stop by the house, pick up everything, and go.
Okay.
So
I'm going straight from work.
So if you go up there at 3, I'll meet you at the shop because you guys won't be done with the tires by the time I get there.
No, and there's a chance that like depending on how busy it is or whatever, I'll have you kind of start getting things started while I finish up whatever it is I'm doing. So there's a chance we don't necessarily start it until 5 or close to it. You know what I mean? But it won't take long to do 5 tires.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to install that light panel switch thing?
The multi-pass?
Yeah, multi-pass.
It was a good chunk of a day.
No,
but I did it by myself, and I didn't know how I was going to route it, and I didn't know, you know what I mean? I think with 3 of us, we could get it done in an hour or 2. Fortunately, I ordered lights that will literally, I'll just take the lights off, put the other ones on, and splice it together. Like, I don't have to.
Not me. I ordered the sun.
I know you did.
So did I.
I know. No, mine are just full.
Dude,
full
when you put those on, I was like, oh, because I was gonna get those. I'm like, well, I don't know if I'm gonna get those, but
Nope.
Like, fuck it. He's ordering it. I'm
Fuck
ordering those.
They were like, let's, what do you want? And so I was like, this is what we want. And they went, okay, it's shipped.
Yeah.
I just got a notification of today. It's shipped. It's gonna be here.
Send me the catalog.
So that's the thing. I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to have this shit installed like Monday night.
How are you going to get it installed Monday night?
Yeah.
Well, whatever the fuck you're doing this weekend, you need to not be doing that.
I can't.
Yeah.
This has been planned for weeks. Hence I kept trying to push the fucking tire thing like a month ago.
But what about the in between times of whatever it is that was planned?
What do you mean?
Are we speaking of
Well, like, is there
riddles?
anything that you could do on your own at your house in between the times that you have whatever you have going on?
No, because I don't have a workplace at my house.
Okay.
So, anyways,
We'll get it. We'll get it. You guys can tag team one thing, and I'll knock out the tires. I guess that sort of thing.
Nice.
We're gonna Eiffel Tower this thing.
All right.
We're gonna upper deck it.
Three,
we're gonna upper deck it.
3, 2, 1.
We're gonna upper deck it, Jose.
So what is this Eiffel Tower?
Let's Eiffel Tower that shit.
You know what that is?
I don't know
Yeah,
that I know
come on
that I
now.
need to
Yeah,
know.
come on,
I
bro.
don't
Is
know
that like
I
the
know.
Dirty Sanchez?
No, it's like
Is
More
that a is that a
more
blumpkin?
complicated.
it's like this.
Two people and
it's
a third.
It's a podcast.
Is it
Fortunately,
like
no
the
one's looking
dolphin?
at Jose. I don't.
So
So,
what?
Is it like the dolphin?
do you have a dorsal fin? Do you know him?
You don't know what the dolphin is?
Okay, so moving on.
It's gotta
I'll
be your
explain it
boy.
offline.
We are not recording next Tuesday. We will not be in the studio recording next Tuesday. We will be at an event in Big Bear Tuesday for the day. We were just talking about trying to do some recording on Monday night and or Tuesday on the trail. I don't know if that will happen, but we will not be doing a live stream on Tuesday, and we'll try to put out some content next Thursday. So keep that in mind.
Is Nicole's truck fixed?
Yeah, no. She said that the parts got delayed. Case, what's the status on
So
Jose's
the parts
boss's
got
truck?
delayed, and then most recently, when we ordered the parts, they forgot to write down the shipping address. So they looked up Corey's email, and the last address he had linked to his email was his address in Happy Camp, which is on the border of California and Oregon. So they sent it there.
Okay.
I mean, what kind of fucking axles are you getting for this Ranger? Like,
It's just
Are
fucking, for whatever reason, they're hard to find.
Because they never break.
And then we had,
Because they're always
okay, so we
broken,
paid
so
for them.
there's
And
not
it's
any
like, hey,
points.
man, like, we paid for them. You guys need to ship them. Yeah, we're going to ship them, whatever. I mean, Corey's been dealing with it. I don't know a ton about it, but it's like, we already paid you for these axles because she's ordered an extra one to keep on hand. So we ordered 2. You need to ship them. And then it's just been a fucking nightmare.
If it was just delayed a couple days, I would make jokes about how awesome it is that Nicole is not getting her truck right away. But it's been delayed long enough to where I know she's legitimately sad.
She's
driving a PT Cruiser for Christ's
and I
sake.
feel
Yeah, I
legitimately
know.
Two
bad.
axles. It's not like it's a fucking like a whole rear end or
Dude,
something.
when you and I blew up the axle, we got one in 2 days.
Yeah.
And well, we're on an island up here, and the thing's tore down sitting on the lift, so we can't even use the lift because we're like, oh yeah, the axle will be here like in a couple of days, no problem. So now it's just sitting, taking up a lift. We can't even move it. So yeah, it's just every once in a while there's this type of thing happens with some sort of fucking part.
storm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're relying on
Perfect
however
storm.
many other people to.
They died.
Mark
do
Wahlberg
something.
and George Clooney. Perfect storm. They went down with their ship.
They did. 100% they
I
did.
saw Oppenheimer. Did you guys see that yet?
I did. Go ahead. Yeah, he has. He went and saw Barbie.
Yeah, I saw Barbie instead.
Yeah.
Great counter choice. But anyway,
I liked it.
There's that line about JFK. I'm like, oh, is that why they killed him?
What line are you talking about?
Like towards the end, like who denied the? Remember they were voting for Iron Man for some fucking office,
Yes.
and then like 3 people flipped at the end, right, of the vote, and one of them was governor from Massachusetts, John F. Kennedy.
Oh yeah. No, they were just referencing him as being an up and coming
That's why they took him out.
I don't know if Iron Man had that kind of pull at that time, but that's an interesting,
But why that? Like, why would they insert that?
Because I think it was based on some fact, right? Like that guy's
because they knew there were people like
whatever
you that were gonna watch
I was
it.
like, oh fuck!
It's
Hollywood trying to tell us the truth.
You know what? If you could drop an RFK, JFK in there, just do it. You do it.
Yeah.
That movie did a really bad job too of like telling you when the fuck they're going back in time and when they weren't. I was like, wait, wasn't he
it was like did Quentin Tarantino direct it?
No, it was Christopher Nolan, right?
Yeah, it was Chris Nolan. I thought it was really good.
It's Quentin Tarantino's cousin.
Yeah.
Right?
So again, it was black and white when they were, I think, current time or whatever, and they went color when they were going back in time telling
that seems counterintuitive.
Oppenheimers.
And it's just like, wait, I thought he was married. And it's like, it's just
he's married like 2 times.
I know,
yeah.
but I don't know.
What about that sex scene?
Oh God, no. What about
that? Seemed like out of like kind of out of left field. Like what is this?
They filmed that with all those people sitting there.
What, like the whole crew? And
but that scene there was like other people, and like she had to do that in front of like all of them.
That's other.
Yeah, that's how movies work.
How do I become a fucking movie?
How
do I get in that room?
You can be in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I saw that one. Have you seen that one yet?
All you gotta know is Black Widow 2, the second Black Widow, is prominently featured naked in Oppenheimer. She's Black Widow's sister. She's Scarlett Johansson.
Okay. So
if you want to
moving
know what
on.
that's all about.
Moving on.
Why?
Moving on.
What did you think about the explosion? Like they finally blew up the test thing, and it was like,
I'll be honest.
This is why it was. Yeah, right. This is why it was in like the you see online 70 millimeter whatever.
It was a little fucking. I was like, that was it.
That's all, huh? Okay.
So going back to next week, we will not be on this show. We will be probably having more conversations like this around a campfire Monday night and on the trail on Tuesday.
Not if you don't see Oppenheimer, obviously. You'll be like, ooh,
I will not.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is
another
really
thing
good.
About Oppenheimer. Did he really talk, or like him and Einstein really friends? Or did they know each other?
They had to. You're talking about like the creation of like the atomic bomb. But the premise of the movie was really the creation of the hydrogen bomb and how that ruined his career. Yeah. Yes.
So that'll be another episode.
And the confusion between the assumptions.
Casey, this is absolute insanity. I'm just gonna end it. I'm just gonna stop the stream at this point. I mean, at this point,
you don't cross it.
We're gonna stop the stream because we're just
don't cross the streams.
I can't even tell you what's happening right now.
You know what